Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Luminous coming guys with a pro to the commentary. This is commentary 334, currently on a marathon to cast to the 350 mark. That means one video per day until I hit the 350, and that means I got 16 more to go. Wow, 6 more to go. That would be good. 16 more to go. So at the very least, 16 more commentaries coming your way. Of course, there are going to be other stuff like the Dota Weekly Show, like pubbing series, etc, etc. But let's get on the business on hand. GDB on the Radiant side, Navi on the Dire. This is game number 3 of a best of 3 series, and I wouldn't want to spoil it further, but this marker on the top will have spoiled it for you. Game 1 and game number 2 is on my YouTube channel. If you haven't watched those games, do check it out. Of course, this is from the Star Series LAN Finals. I will be casting the grand final matchup of this tournament. I won't spoil which team is going to be playing against which, but you can look forward to the commentary, and it will be on this channel as well. But yes, right now on the Radiant side, GDB with the first pick and first ban, Templar Assassin and Bat Rider is going to be their bans. Meanwhile, Navi getting rid of the Wisp and Twin Hair Dragon. Now, in game number 1 and game number 2, Navi picked up Pudge. So this is very, very curious in a sense for GDB team to have the first pick and not ban the Darkseer and then pick the Bat. Because what we saw from game number 2 is that Dendy's Pudge struggle mightily in the mid lane against Sing Sing's Bat Rider. So in a sense, you could win that lane and basically eliminate Pudge from being truly effective. And that's really what happened in game number 2. But instead of that, they're going to go with what they know works best, which is a Darkseer. We have seen this hero a billion times, so I don't need to talk about it too much. Now, one thing I do want to talk about Darkseer and how synergized with GDB's playstyle in a sense. They are very, very aggressive, so any heroes that give them mobility is great. Also, they love to take team fights, all small scales engagement, you know, 3 heroes versus 4 heroes versus 4 heroes, that kind of engagement. They love to do things like that, and having a vacuum and of course a wall, very, very helpful in terms of a small to large scale team fights. Navi on the other side is going to pick up a Shadow Shaman and Queen in Pain. If you remember what happened in game number 1 for Arzart Shadow Shaman, which by the way, he plays the 4 or sometimes even the 5 role on that Shadow Shaman support, he got really, really farmed. So I do expect similar things here from the Shadow Shaman, getting a quick BKB despite being a support. So if you're playing a support role, if you're trying to learn how to play support role and you're struggling to get farm and struggling to get level because you're trying to buy wards or you're pulling, whatever you're trying to do, I really recommend you to download some Navi replays and watch Arzart, because he constantly plays these type of heroes that requires a lot of farm, that requires a lot of EXP, and he just somehow finds it despite playing a beautiful support role. So that's a shout out to Arzart, and of course a shout out to support players out there that's trying to learn to be like Arzart. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain is going to be the second pick here for Navi. This makes me think that Pudge is not going to make... Ooh! Pudge is definitely not going to make an appearance on the Navi side because the GD Bear team has picked it for themselves. This is kind of crazy. I also was trying to say that we won't see Pudge on the Navi squad because Stendy either plays Queen of Pain or Pudge, and I don't think anybody else on the team that plays a Queen of Pain when they do pick her up. So it's kind of clear that Queen of Pain is going to be his hero and Pudge will not be. And the GD Bear team revised a somewhat older strategy, something that we don't see at all. Pudge Omni Knight combo. As you guys know, Rot does a magical damage both to his enemy and to himself. And of course, Omni Knight Repel, if you throw it on top of the Pudge, basically he could rot for free. He will still damage enemy heroes, but will not damage himself. So he's a very, very powerful hero. He's a very awkward hero to lane because he's melee. He's generally played on as a support role. He needs a lot of EXP. He needs a lot of farm. So it's a I want to say a conundrum, not conundrum. A dilemma. Dilemma is a better word. Like, he's a very, very powerful hero if you get him going, but it's hard to get him going because he has like 0 laning abilities. He's very, very weak without mana regeneration items, without big mana pool, which you need farm to get to. So we might be expecting a solo mid Omni Knight. We'll have to wait and see. The Pudge, of course, will be going solo mid. Second rounds of bans are flying out Chen, Enigma, and Prophet. So a lot of these jungle heroes, and I think most of it all target towards Puppy. I do believe that, of course, Light of Heaven plays the Enigma on the long lane, so that could be targeted towards him as well. But all these jungler being banned out here, and that's going to force Navi to have some sort of awkward laning. Meanwhile, Rubik, which Kuroki played a beautiful Rubik in game number 2, is banned out. Leshrac as well as the Bounty Hunter. But Brewmaster is a pickup that Navi is running, and I haven't seen Navi actually play that hero too often. Of course, that hero is somewhat of a teamfight specialist, as he would not be affected by too many of the spells on the GDB team when he split. Man, this pick and ban going by really, really fast. Venomancer as a 4th hero for GDB Meanwhile, Lycanthrope, I'm sure Puppy's going to be jungling on that. It's going to be Navi's 4th. And finally, Pugna is going to be the 5th here for GDB. Pugna, haven't seen the pro scene for quite a bit. I've seen him being banned a couple of times. We will see him do a lot of work in this particular game. Massive AoE team fight on the GDB Air squad. They don't have a lot of great stuns. In fact, they have one stun, which comes in the form of Dismember. But for the most part, look at their AoE. The Nether Ward could be considered as AoE spell. The Nether Blast definitely will be. Venomancer Ultimate, Vacuole, the Heal Bomb with the help of Pudge tanking it up in the middle. That's pretty optimal team fight. Now, you have to deal with the mobility of Lycanthrope. You have to deal with the mobility of Queen of Pain. Of course, Brewmaster is practically invulnerable in his ultimate. So it's going to be very, very difficult because they lack so many stuns. They lack the stuns. They will have trouble to keep these guys down and kill them outright. I'm very, very worried about the GDBR team. I do imagine they have decent laning, but of course I talked about the Omni Knight and how awkward he is in the lane. I'm expecting some sort of a tri-lane here. Pugna, Omni Knight, and Veno tri-lane. Of course, we could see some sort of like a dueling situation with Sing Sing. He's playing the Pugna, so he's probably going to go mid. Kuroki on the support Omni Knight. Alex is going to be on supporting Venomancer. And it seems like Black, the carry player, is going to be playing Pudge. So he's going to be basically going to farm on the bot lane and just get going. Now, if you haven't heard my Pudge analysis in game number 1, I talked about Pudge. If he's playing on the safe lane, he's mostly going to be farming until level 6-7, and then it's going to come out and ganking. Black is a very, very impressive farmer, but one thing that I have noticed about him is that he really does not like to participate in early game team fights. He really likes to jump out here with a mega farm hero and says, "Fun is over," and then I'm going to come carry. Now, we did see some of his Tiny last game, which he did participate in team fights, and I think we're going to lean more towards that play style. Black's going to get farmed, but he has to participate in early game team fight. He's actually going up top by himself right now. Is he really top soloing Pudge? I cannot imagine that's going to be. Yeah, Venomancer as well as Kuroki will be helping him out. So offensive trialing here, Bamboo on the defensive Darkseer. A role that we don't see too often, and he is going to be laning against the last pick here, Light of Heaven Clockwork, a hero that we haven't seen too often, a hero that I constantly say he does not belong in the competitive metagame, simply because he doesn't really fit. I mean, he jumps in by himself, really difficult for your team to follow up because he's so fast. And to be honest, very, very difficult to combo off. He is a great team fight hero if you could hit a 2-3-man cog, and I'm sure Light of Heaven will have the ability to do so. He is expecting an offensive trialing against him, so you do see him starting with the boots of speed, and he's going to be rocketing. Missing a couple of EXP perhaps, but no big deal. Puppy, of course, is going to be jungling up. On the mid lane is going to be Dendy's Queen of Pain. This should be a very, very interesting matchup here. Queen of Pain versus Pugna. I want to give it to Queen of Pain because she does have better mobility, could grab the runes a little bit easier. But it really depends on who's camping the rune. Let's say Venomancer is camping the rune, then it's very, very difficult for Queen of Pain to pick that one up. Of course, defensive dual lane top, Havos is going to be playing the Brewmaster. Arzart going to be playing the Shadow Shaman as expected. And that's all the players. So, of course, this is the game number 3 of a best of 3 series. And whoever loses will, I believe, get knocked down to the loser's bracket. Whoever wins will go on. And this lane on the bottom lane is going to be on the favor of Bambo, as Iron Shell against most melee hero is basically just cheese. And also considering that this is a League of Legends starting item build, if you will, for Light of Heaven, expecting a tri-lane. And because of that, he's going to have a very, very little region to compete with Sexy Bambo. That boost of speed is not going to be too helpful in terms of chasing or escaping, considering that there is a surge in the equation. So a little bit of a kind of big mind game here for GD Bear team in terms of controlling the lanes of Bamboo, tanking 3 creeps, and then still hitting Light of Heaven. That's what Iron Shell does for you. Very, very broken laning spell against a melee hero. Looking at the top lane here, Alex threatening to stop this pull. They do have a ward in position right now, but they're preventing this pull from ever happening. And it looks like they're going to cut this one off, trying to get a kill. Very offensive play, only level 2 on the Pudge. And of course, both these support heroes not getting a single point of EXP. Repel at level 1 here from Omni Knight as well. Now, most Omni Knight, of course, get that purification level 1. It only heals for 90, but if you do land it properly, it is a lot of damage. If you look at what Black's doing right now, he's tanking the creep wave so that the creep does not get into tower range. If it does get into tower range, they'll dodge so very quickly and make last hitting it a lot more difficult. And when they do die very quickly, it will push all the way back to the enemy side. Oh, he let up a little bit too soon. And because of that, it's still under the tower range. But he's going to last it just about everything because he's black. He's black. Meanwhile, level 2 or minute 2, the rune has spawned. It is going to be on the bot lane. Let's see if Bamboo's going to deny that here, or maybe Light of Heaven is going to pick it up. But Bamboo's constantly pushing the lane here, and Light of Heaven is going to have a very, very, very difficult time. Now, he does have rockets, but rockets not exactly the best way to kind of farm. Not exactly the best way to counter push against a Darkseer. He's still taking some damage. He's going to have to get a bottle very, very soon, I imagine. We got Omni Knight as well as Venomancer in the jungle trying to stop this and slow down this jungling attempt here by Puppey. Arzard comes around as well. If Arzard gets Galed up here, there's a Gale against Puppey, but there's no purification. These guys are level 1. Maybe I think they figured out Alex in a little bit of trouble. There's a repel. They have showed their skill, but right now, Panda getting in position. A blink from Dendi and a slow should mean first blood against Alex. Alex should drop a Gale. No, still on cooldown from using it against Puppey, and there's the go at the shock. Grabbing the first blood is Arzard. Very, very good play here. Excuse me. So a little bit too much offense coming out from the GDB team, and they definitely pay for it. Pudge still not contributing too much of anything, and he really cannot contribute until he hits level 5. Level 3 hook is still okay, but not the most reliable thing. Now, with that said, if he does get the hook off, you're eating a Gale, you're eating constant rot damage, and perhaps you're eating a purification as well. And most likely, if you don't have a blink, you're going to be dead. So if even Havos, even Arzard, if they get hooked, they are dead for sure. On the middle lane here, let's check out how we're doing in terms of the CS Darkseer, leading the way on the bot lane with 20. We have 15 here on Pugna and Pudge with 15 as well, simply because he's basically free farming. Dendi not having a good time, only 8 CS and 4 denies, so a little bit rough here. Of course, dealing with the Nether Blast is not exactly easy, but he is actually very, very interesting choice. I thought he's going to deviate from the standard solo mid build and put a little bit more points into Scream of Pain. Simply because you really need to compete against Pugna. If he's really out pushing you, you're going to have a fairly tough time in terms of grabbing the runes. You can see the level 5 Nether Blast, 250 AoE damage. But, you know, instead he's going for the single target harass with the Shadow Strike. Shadow Strike is going to be nice because it does prevent you from using the bottle during that time. Arzard is going to get, ooh, the Gale's going to hit. I think the blink forward from Dendi will steal the rune. No, a little bit on cooldown here. Dendi, very, very low. Nether Blast, is it going to bring it down? No, he's still popping Illusion Rune right now. Don't have mana for blink. Nether Blast and blink out here. Wow, regenerating just enough. That was a close call. Meanwhile, Sing Sing very, very low, and that's exactly what Shadow Strike does for you, preventing the bottle use for such a long time, and doing a lot of damage against a low HP Pugna. On the top lane here, a little bit of a harass coming in from both ways. Look at the big crit here from Havos. Interesting the fact that he is putting 1 point into Drunken Brawler. This is actually the standard build. Ooh, Havos, gotta be careful. This is the actually standard build for most Brewmaster players. You put 1 point into stats and make sure that you have enough mana for basically 2 claps, especially at level 4. And then you have that 1 point to Drunken Brawler to, you know, just get the accidental dodge with the mischance and the accidental, you know, critical strikes for a little bit of tiny harass against that Pudge. On the mid lane here, though, Sing Sing, Breach of Speed picked up here, 600 on the Golden Bank, empty bottle, really need the runes. And meanwhile, on the bot lane, a lot of dive going on. Arzard just being everywhere at once at the shot, getting the kill. Did he use a teleport scroll? I imagine that he did, perhaps teleporting from base. And this is where Arzard truly shines. He's basically all over the place and basically assisting every single gank. Remember the first blood where he started by shackling the Venomancer here. Remember the close engagement here where we shackle Pugna to allow the Queen of Pain to survive. And another engagement where Arzard, he's supposed to be pulling, he's supposed to be under level, under farm, but he's getting assist kills everywhere. He's got both his team's kills. Now, some you may call it steal, but for the most part, I want to say that he's perfectly being in the right places at the right time. And look at that, minute 6, he's going to be checking bot river for Rune Arzard. I got to say, very, very impressive player. And it's going to be up on top, which Queen of Pain. Now, Puppey is going to actually snatch that. He has a bottle himself. Wow, so now, of course, after the 6.75 parity patch, Lycan's jungle has been nerfed very, very big time. And as you guys might remember from previously, Lycan, when he's going jungle, he's going for things like Ring of Basilius, going things like Vlad's into a Medallion Courage Treads and stuff like that. Not dangerous, sure. Stuff of that nature. Wow, hard to speak English today. And he's going for Magic Bottle, so this could be a new trend in terms of jungling. Players at home, take notes. I haven't seen too many pub Lycans anymore after the nerf because everybody says Lycan can't jungle anymore. But, you know, this is a different way to do so. And Bottle, of course, if you could snatch up a regen rune like that, very, very good. On the top lane here, Havos, level 6, but unfortunately does not have mana for it. So Darkseer gets a kill on the bot lane with the help of a Alex Gale. Sorry for missing that one. But you can imagine what happened. Gale, Iron Shell, right clicks, and to be honest, Clockwork not exactly the best survivor against multiple slows and multiple right clicks coming in against Swiss Way. I'm just looking at Pudge. I mean, Pudge's got relatively free farm. He's very, very high up in the farm chart. In fact, all of the Mouse Sports players are farming well, but they're losing in terms of kills. I do imagine they're winning in terms of the gold chart, though, just by a slightly bit. Nothing to write home about. But these are the heroes that don't generally use farm too well. I mean, Pudge could use farm for boots and Urn and Hood and things of that nature, but up to a certain extent, like he is not going to scale well. He has to hit his hook. He is a very spell-based hero, and so far has even fired one of his hooks. He's got Arcane Boots finished, so might as well lob those hook like crazy because it's okay to miss. There's no punishment to that. But Arzart has, or excuse me, Havos has his own Arcane Boot delivered, and he should be absolutely fine. Looks like we're going to see a little bit of Raw Chase, Repel being used offensively, and Havos will back off. Looks like Lycan is coming around as well. I think he's going to just chill in the jungle and keep farming, starting to tank a little bit. This is what you need to do after they nerf against Lycan. Your heroes need to tank a little bit more. As, of course, the Lycan Wolves, only 200 AG HP. Very, very low. And I do believe they're expecting a gank coming against Havos' way. And, of course, they could turn it around as well. He has enough mana for Clap and Primal Split. All they need a couple of do is a single Shackle or two, you know, a couple of right clicks from the Lycanthrope. And it could be very, very easy two-man kills. But for now, Pudge, I think Pudge is going to be seen by this ward walking across, and this could be go. Arza coming in position right now. Can he get off the Hex and Shackle? No, the creeps not helping to block on the Radiant side. Meanwhile, on the bot here, Bamboo has scored a tower kill, I imagine, or at least destroyed it with the help of his creeps and whatnot. And that's going to put themselves a little bit far ahead, about 1,500 gold lead. Looks like they're going to make it one more time. Black, a little bit in trouble here. Haven't got next to the creep for quite a while. Both teams warding down the mid. This is, by the way, very, very important in Nightfall, because during Nightfall, you cannot see across a river by standing on the ledge anymore. And warding off in the mid-river, it doesn't really matter which side you ward, because this ward could see across here, and of course if you're in Radiant and you ward this, you'll see the entire area over here. For the most part, you will not get any kind of sneaky TP ganks against you, which do happen on a high frequency, especially when you have such explosive nukers on the mid lane, and it happens during nighttime. So very, very good warding here from both supports, both team support, to make sure that their solo mid stays relatively safe. Pugna going up on the top lane here. Arcane Boots being finished. Perhaps they want to do a counter gank. Yes, 4 hero on the top lane here. They want to kill Panda. I really don't think they can, though. It has Primal Split. Could easily turn this around. And great ward. We'll see 4 heroes on the top lane for the Radiant side. And now the choices for Navi. Are they going to defend this? Are they going to fight over this? I wonder what's it going to be. No teleport scrolls up on these guys. There is one on Clockwork. Is there going to be one on Queen and Pain? We don't see one just yet. No, just kidding. Queen and Pain has one as well. But seems like they're going to just break it up or give it up. There's just too many heroes. Or maybe, I really think they can defend this. I mean, Havos does have his ultimate, but against 4 hero, perhaps a little bit dangerous. Venomancer gets a tower kill, and that's going to be the second tower destroyed. Meanwhile, in the mid lane here, it looks like they're trying to push that one down, but Glyph and the teleport support is going to come in right now. Hex goes on against Bamboo. Can you get off the Shackle? They're focusing on Bamboo. Bamboo taking a lot of damage. Can he drop off the vacuum? He's going to survive it. Wow, the Nether Ward doing so much, and looks like Sing Sing gets yet another kill here. Teleport in from Pudge as well as Kuroki, making sure that everybody's alive. But great tanking by Bamboo. I'm not sure how he even survived that. He had a lot of nukes going his way, but of course the ward really helped out in terms of zapping down everybody's HP, as well as Nether Blast, weakening everybody as well. And the counter push coming from GDB. GDB is doing a very, very good job in terms of slowing everybody down, but Havos comes in right now. Looks like they want to fight this. Repel being used right now on Pudge, but Repel will be running out very, very soon. They see Alex. Alex is going to get shackled up. Alex is going to die for sure. Bamboo, just run, my friend. You're not going to do too much. Oh, the hook in here from Light of Heaven. What aim, and he's going to go down. No, backing forward. He'll come in. The hook's going to miss here. Great move. Great individual plays here on the Radiant side. Not going to be enough, though. Meanwhile, it looks like Black has went down as well. Sing Sing trying to juke in the jungle, and I'm not going to do so here. Blast is going to miss here on the Queen of Pain. Puppy a little bit low, but he should be fine. Tower not doing enough damage. And it looks like with all 5 heroes on the Dire still alive, they are going to push on this tower with relative ease. Great recovery from Navi, despite losing an early engagement in the mid. Just came right back. Great hook from Light of Heaven, starting everything up though. If that Darkseer survived, he could have dropped more Iron Shell, could have dropped more Vacuum, and things could have got a little bit ugly. But now with that kill, looks like the gold chart has ran down to middle. And I'm sorry if you guys hear like a freaking zoo out here. I can close my window, but apparently I live next to a jungle and I have birds everywhere. But yeah. Okay, looks like we're good. And then meanwhile, I think what you guys saw on the screen was some D-ward action going on as well, there you go. The war happening. Invisible Dandy on the mid lane. I think he's going to just go for the courier kill. Courier is going to fly to the secret shop. I think they've seen Dandy. They have known Dandy's on the mid lane. Whatever the choice might be, they... this is Dandy. Dandy does not have his ultimate. Does have mana for multiple screams and daggers and whatnot, but looks like a slow siege going on the mid lane though. Rocket slowing everybody down. They could probably kill Kurogi. No, just nuking it and blinking back out. The reason that he did that was his regen rune perhaps mostly running out. Ooh, Black looking for the hook. Blink dagger already finished on Hovos. Do expect a team fight breaking out very, very soon because he has not used his ultimate yet. Meanwhile, Punch gets a rod off, but a hook in against two, and now he's trying to fight everybody. Dandy blinks in right now. Kurogi, two-man, Clockwork Hook. Meanwhile, Panda blinks in, but got focused down very quickly. The Iron Shell doing insane amount of damage. The War Trap here against Sing Sing. Self-decryptify. Blast gonna blink back out. The War trying to focus down on Sing Sing. Not gonna do enough damage. And great team fight here for the GD Bear team, despite of the great hook coming in from Clockwork here, just landing it perfectly. But Darkseer, team fight specialist, you gotta remove him in the beginning of team fight. If not, Iron Shell Vacuum. It's gonna make your team having a nightmare. Dandy picks up a double damage rune, but he's gonna get bitten up. Hook's gonna hit him as well, and Black says, Mr. Dandy, get a little of my punch. I could play this hero as well. And beautiful chain stun here against Queen of Pain. I seem to recall what I've said earlier. I think I said the Radiant team does not have enough stuns, and thus they're going to have difficulties in terms of getting kills because of Dire team is very mobile, right? We saw Clockwork zipping in. We saw the Lycanthrope and with his Shapeshift, 522 movement speed, and of course the multiple blink usage for Queen of Pain. You're supposed to have a difficult time killing this, but it seems like the Dire team is just not tanky enough. They're jumping into these team fights and they just die because the Radiant team has so much burst damage. Of course, the purification is no joke. 360 parry damage when it is maxed up, and for the most part, the Darkseer is just doing way too much sustained damage, and these guys are not surviving long enough. Uh-oh, Kurogi being trapped here. Blink, clap. It looks like the repel is going to be used, but what repel does not help you with is physical attack. So killing you under your tower, and then it's going to be pushing down your tower. Dandy moving as a full unit of 5 and getting very, very effective kills. Of course, they're going to be trading a tower, but for the most part, Navi has evened up, are getting very close to evening up in terms of towers. They're only needing a tier 1 top, and the gold chart is very similar, despite Navi is down in terms of 1 tower. So that basically means that Navi is farming a little bit better for the most part, and getting a little bit better in terms of assist kill goal, hero kill goal, and whatnot. In terms of the raw farm though, Darkseer and Pugna is leading. The hook is coming. Oh, miscommunication here. It could have been some cool vacuum into hook combo here, but looks like Dandy pops his haste rune and is going to go right in and trying to chase everybody away. Gotta be careful though. Blink in here, and Dismember might be bad. Oh, blink, clap, ultimate. No ultimate from Hovos, at least not just yet. Why did he wait for so long? They're going to focus, and the 3-man cog here pulls one back out. Vacuum backwards. The wall being dropped right now, and the Pudge gets War Trap here. Ours are playing beautiful. The Ward's focusing on Pudge. Pudge very tanky. He's going to get healed up. He's shackled though. Now the Panda is focusing, gets repel backwards. He's still very tanky. Guardian Angel gets used. Havos ultimate's out. He's gonna blink back out. The hook follows Black. He's so good with his Pudge. And another team fight being won on GDB. You gotta keep in mind the wards are dropped. The ultimate from Clockwork hit 3 heroes, and also the Panda ultimate were used, but great vacuum here from Darkseer. We're still seeing that Darkseer is one of the best team fight hero there is. And right here, I mean, this hero has to get focused in the beginning, has to get picked off. If not, he's going to provide his team way too much team fight. Also, Bamboo is used to playing on the long lane such that he gets no farm, no XP, or relatively low farm and low XP. But in this particular game, he had a safe lane. I mean, he killed Clock once with the help of Venomancer. He pushed down tier 1 tower by himself, and because of that, he's relatively farmed. Look, Vanguard and another 1300 gold in the bank with Arcane Boot up. So Bamboo is enjoying a lot more farm than he usually does and playing a lot better as well. A lot more effective for his team. Meanwhile, if you saw in the bot lane when Kurogi got ganked, this is what most teams like to do when they do run an Omni Knight. They basically says, alright Omni Knight, just go in the lane, get some farm, because we recognize that you really want to have most of your spell maxed up. Of course, you want your heal to be maxed up, you want your repel to be maxed, and you do want a high level of degen aura. And you really can't get all of the spells if you never get farmed. So GD Bear team allow Kurogi to farm a tiny bit. Unfortunately though, Navi picked up on that very quickly and sent a gank party, and not only did they kill Kurogi, he killed his tower as well. Lycanthrope not having exactly the best time in his life. He's been jungling, but for the most part, though, 0 and 2 is the start. Most likely going to be finishing strength checks for a little bit of early game survivability. Arzard, though, look, straight going for the BKB after the Arcane Boots is already picked up. Dendi going for the BKB as well. Navi loves their BKB. They're saying that, dude, I don't care. You know, Vacuum's great. Pudge is great. Pugna's a great hero in the early game team fight. But once we have our Black King bar, there's not much you can do. And of course, Brewmaster, a semi-built-in BKB in a sense with this Panda ultimate. But it seems like the Radiant team, they're very, very tanky. They're outlasting these Panda ultimate. After they outlast the Panda ultimate, they'll kill you again. You know, the heal coming from Kuroki, very, very insane. Do they have a mech being finished just yet? That's it. There you go. There's a mech. And that's why they're doing so well. Navi says, we really can't defend a tier 2 tower. Unfortunately, we'll have to trade a tier 2 for a Roshan. I actually think that's a little bit ahead and a little bit of in favor of Navi, because this team is a little bit more mid-game based. They don't really want to take a necessary team fight before they finish their Black King bar. So getting a free pile of gold, and especially Aegis Immortal on Dendi, so important. But GDB says, if you're not going to defend your tier 2, we're going to poke ahead a little bit and try to get the tier 3. Somebody, they still got to go, got a text. They still got to go defend this. And here we go. Tier 3 is going to get Spliff from right now. Panda does have his blink, does have his ultimate. Puppy still very slow in terms of moving back to his base. He's got to go. He's finishing Vlad's a hook. Oh, barely missing after Vacuum blink and ultimate here. Panda going right up here. The wall being dropped, but not enough heroes. And the Sonic Wave doing so much damage. There's a life steal from Sing Sing, but Sing Sing's going to get a cancel. No, he canceled himself. Blinking from Dendi. That Aegis of Immortal doing so much. Sing Sing's going to go down. Everybody TP's out. And when I say everybody, I just mean Pudge, because everybody else has died. The Blinking Panda ultimate, and for once the Vacuum was not doing enough, because simply that was Panda and Dendi just 2-man it up. The teamfight AoE was so huge, and the Radiant team was too clumped for one Sonic Wave. It hit, I think, 3 to 4 here, I want to say. The wards weren't down here for for Pugna, and didn't really do enough damage to Queen of Pain. Also, I'm not too sure whether the mech was used. It was used. Was Purification used a couple of times? I'm not sure. So the burst damage is really killing Kuroki in that last team fight. I imagine he got bursted down, and thus not enough healing coming in. So good recovery here from Navi. They're still on the ropes though, because if they lose one team fight in this top vicinity, they are going to be losing racks for sure, because the Radiant team will be pushing very, very fast with Nether Blast as well as Plague Wards. But you know, right now it is up to them. It's up to Navi to take team fights. If they want to take team fights, they gotta take it very, very far away from their base. Meanwhile, GDB is going to be pushing for a little bit more map territory. They're saying that this tier 2 mid is very, very exposed. You guys don't have a farm Lycan yet. We'll try to take it down. Speaking of that farm Lycan, so he's got flat finish. He's got boots. No trust just yet. And wards already dropped down. Which ward is that? Is that a Dire Team ward? I imagine it's the Dire Team ward. Yeah, that's a Dire Team ward. I think, yeah, that's a Dire Team ward. Already in the expectancy of this tower going down, so seems like a Navi is not going to be defending this, but for not defending it, they're defending it long enough for Puppy to clear that tier 1 tower on the top lane. Of course, Havos is helping out. Look at that, Havos also going for the Black King bar. So between BKB as well as his ultimate, he's going to just survive so long in a team fight. But this is a race against clock. Will they finish the BKB first, or will they get pushed down first? And it seems like the Blink Initiation and Kuroki out of position, too slow to retreat, whatever you call it, got picked off. And without Kuroki in the team fight, look at Navi. They're playing a little bit more aggressive. They know they could burst people down now, but just chasing people away. And of course, that's going to buy themselves some crucial farm time, as they will not be pushing without Kuroki. Kuroki is still very, very under farm, still very under level 7. Not going to be needing enough. A very, very low and a slow stage in terms of game. Quickly going to move over to net worth and see how we're doing. Not too much in terms of the go chart difference, as there's no no-go being really spent on buyback. So just hero, you know, getting last hits, getting items on their heroes. Speaking of those items, let's quickly check out what they got. So massive BKB being attempted here. BKB already finished on Dendi. How's Arzar? I imagine he's pretty close. Clock's going to be going for Vanguard Mech. So massive tank, massive utility for his team. Vlad's finish, Medallion Courage. I imagine he's going to be going BKB as well. Just to fit the theme, you know. Everybody go for BKB. Meanwhile, Bamboo is going to be going for Axe Scepter. I really dislike this choice. Normally, I love Axe Scepter as an item on Darkseer, but simply, he's going to finish it around the same time that all these Black King bar will be finished on the Dire side. And once BKBs are up, I mean, I guess they still provide physical damage. But really, I would much likely like to see an item that gives you a little bit more utility. And it is physical damage, a lot of physical damage nonetheless. So it's nice against BKB, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Venomancer just the support item. Force Staff is already up on Sing Sing. Double Arcane, Triple Arcane Boots, Quad Arcane Boots. Man, these guys would not be out of mana. Pudge is going for a Plate Mail, perhaps rushing at Shiva's. Shiva's is something that we don't see on Pudge too often because it requires a lot of farm. And Pudge generally won't have time to get that farm, but this is Black we're talking about. And he's doing relatively well, 3-1 and 0. They have knocked down a lot of towers, so feeling rich enough to buy that, at least for now. But back in the mid lane, Navi knows a push is coming their way, and knows that if they lose a fight here, that could most likely mean the 1 racks and really disadvantage the game. They really want to do as much damage to this tower as before the push comes, and maybe even force back a TP. I imagine that the Navi or the Radiant team would not TP back. They'll just say, right, you can have our tier 2, we're gonna take your tier 3, or try to at the very least. Sing Sing going on high ground here, blasting away. Each blast does 108 damage against the tower, so that's a lot. Oh, Black looking for a hook, maybe? No. Very, very brave TT to TP against us. Our blink in, ultimate here, and they're gonna focus right on Alex. Alex is gonna get Force Staff out. Oh, huge Sonic Wave from Dendi. He wants Sing. Sing's getting healed right now. Ward gets dropped here. Pudge gets hexed up. He's really gonna get focused by the wards as well. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain gets 1 kill. He's looking for a little bit more here. Puppy very low in terms of health, but looks like Kuroki's gonna repel. Repel does not do anything against right click. Sing's gonna get 1 kill, but Dendi's on the war path here. Bamboo on the run as well. TP out from Sing Sing. Sing Sing's gonna make it. Meanwhile, will Bamboo make it himself? He does have to. Whoa! Vacuum on the high ground. Blink will be cooling down just a couple of seconds. There is going to be a Drunken Haste slowing him down after the surge is cancelled out, but Bamboo running way too fast. Most likely going to TP on the high ground, which he does, and he will be fine. But with the trading of a Lycanthrope for 3 hero kills, and now Navi defends once again. Navi, generally the aggressor in this team. They're staving off the aggression from GD Bear team with relative ease, I want to say. There's no answer to Hovos blinking in, especially that level 11 was so crucial. His ultimate now lasts a little bit longer compared to the level 6 ultimate. And because of that, he's chasing the entire team away. He's drawing a lot of focus on him, and when Panda blinks against you and you try to run away from that team fight, it's really, really difficult because one of your dude is going to be cycling in the air, another guy's going to be stunned, and of course that's going to give all the room to a BKB, Dendi, Queen of Pain to blink in and set up all over on you. So Hovos is the X factor here for Navi, and he's playing his hero perfectly. To be honest, very easy to play perfectly as well. All he has to do is make sure his ultimate's online when he's engaging me, and also he has to make sure that he cannot get picked off. So he's gonna blink back out, TP out, and prepare for the next push. 1 minute to the cooldown, and this 1 minute timer so important as they will not be able to team fight with nearly high efficiency without one down. So right now, GDB is going to try on the top lane one more time. This is going to be the 3rd attempt to push this tower in a deny range. Navi choosing not to deny as well. They have about 30 seconds to push out the mid lane to get a little bit of last minute ditch farm before they buy their next item or save gold for buyback, whatever the case might be. Yeah, you can see that Arzar is still in position, has his teleport scroll. Lycan's rotating back. Meanwhile, Dendi already getting in position. He has his ultimate in 6 seconds, and that's going to be absolutely huge. But look at this pickup here. Diffusal play here, of course, to counter against the repel. Good adjustment here, and let's see if it's going to matter. And I'm sure it's going to matter, but let's see how much it's going to matter. Kuroki running away. He knows he cannot be the first of the focus. Hook is going to get a wolf here. Oh, I have not talked about one thing is that right now, Puppy, if you looked at his micro, doing an excellent job in terms of keeping the wolves on Pudge, hugging them. Hook is going to barely miss here from the clockwork, and seems like Radiant team's on the run here. There's a vacuum on the top where Puppy stuck on the tree. Ultimate's going to get used. So Hook is here against Clockwork. Clockwork is going to get focused down. No stun. There's a mecha. He's Vanguard. He's very, very tanky, and actually Black perhaps a little bit trouble. He's got magic release, he's got armor, but he's gonna get purged down. Dendi blinking back in. He wants the Pudge. Pudge is gonna take a lot of damage. Magic wand up. TP out here. Good job here on Pudge saving himself, but the rest of the team fight well in the favor of the Dire team, and Bamboo is gonna go down as well. I'm actually gonna watch that team fight one more time because I focus a little bit too much on the Pudge, and we really want to see what Hovos is doing. So I do apologize if you dislike rewind. So let's focus here on the heroes that are dying. They're gonna focus on Sing self to Decrepify. Blink in from Dendi, almost hitting his ult, barely missing his ult. barely hitting his ult, excuse me. Then he's gonna get focused by these Panda Illusions. Panda Illusions basically gonna go down, trying to TP out, too much damage. So everybody behind Venom just died to the subsequent to a kind of AoE, and Bamboo's gonna die as well after killing a Clockwork. But not enough, not enough. These trades have been 1 for 4, 1 for 3, 1 for 2, always in the favor of Navi. They were, I think, 8 and 8 at one point, now 11 to 21. If you look at the gold chart, huge favor for the Navi. 5,000 may not seem like too much, but you gotta keep in mind that the Radiant team is leading by tower kills. The Radiant team has a better mid game, but not anymore. This Panda is doing way too much in team fights. And you also gotta keep in mind that was a great vacuum from Bamboo, putting Puppey up on the high ground. It was a 5v4 team fight. Despite of that, they could not win it. So Pudge already really tapering off. They have no answer for this Brewmaster, and they will not have an answer for this Brewmaster until the entire team, the Radiant team, starts to stack up in terms of BKB, or you basically get a quick hex. When Havos blinks in, you hex him immediately. What I've noticed from Havos' play so far is that when he blinks in, he does not use his ultimate immediately. He goes for things like clap, he goes things for like a couple of right clicks, and then he goes to use the ultimate. Now, in this particular game, you could get away with doing that. Particular being that there is no range stun. Like, there is a Pudge dismember, and that's it. So if you're careful enough, you will really never ever get your ultimate disrupted. But if there's a hex on the Radiant side, then it's a different story. You blink in. If you're ever too slow with that opening here with the primal split, you will just get hexed up and you will die very, very easily, I might add. Looks like we had a big item being finished up, and which is the Acceptor on Darkseer. But as I expected, I mean, he is going to finish Acceptor when there's 1 BKB up, 2 BKB up, and that's it. Of course, Light of Heaven working on his BKB as well. But again, it's not going to be too effective unless Bamboo drops it on 3 or 4. And of course, those physical illusions does do plus 140%, I want to say. That's a max level. Scepter damage, 120%, because it's, yeah, at level 15 right now. So he's going to do a lot of physical damage with illusions. But now with that said, I mean, that's when you get a 5-man vacuum and a wall, which may or may not happen. The hook here against Dendi. Dendi does he have buyback? The hook in here, 1-man call going. They want to focus on Sing Sing vacuum backwards. There's a wall being dropped on everybody. Sing Sing's going to get mech'd up, or at least right now, he's going to actually right click. He does have a lot more spells left. No mana to use it though here. Well, focusing right now. There's a shackle on the low ground against Pudge. Pudge, very, very tanky. Pudge probably going to go for a hook. No, he gets hexed up right now. Light of Heaven going to work. And look at how much damage that Panda's doing on the background. That's 4 for nothing. Kuroki trying to TP out, trying to walk away, repel, but they will just follow you. The spell does not dispel repel. Yeah, and Kuroki TPing out. Ooh, just barely make it. Gonna rewind one more time. Again, looking at Havos in this case. I was very, very focused on Denny. Looks like Sing Sing has already went down. Look at this. They could not do a single damn thing against a Venomancer. Or excuse me, against this Panda. Panda just sees one, kills another, focus on another. Meanwhile, Puppey taking down Bamboo. Nice hook in here from Pudge before he dies. Gets like, trying to get a kill against Arza. Arza very, very tanky. Another team fight. 0 for 4 in this time. This is a 4th time here the GDB team trying to push out on the top lane against high ground, against 5 heroes on the Dire team. They even opened up the team fight with a hook and Dendi. It wasn't enough. I think they have gave away too much advantage, and any more pushes going on the top lane will inevitably fail. The Dire team just have too much positioning. They have better items. They have BKBs finish up the wazoo. BKB number 3 almost up here on Clockwork. And guess what? There's going to be Aegis Immortal as well, because there's no defending this. I mean, Mouseport played beautiful in game number 1, beautiful in game number 2 with their timing pushes. But in this particular game, they could not get this timing push off. And Navi, I mean, not usually what they're doing, which is turtling and based, going for the late game wins, is doing just that. Queen of Pain picks up the Aegis Immortal. And of course, after the Diffusal Blade is going to be going for MKB. So a physical DPS Queen of Pain. Very, very interesting. Very, very non-standard. But hey, something that we could be going for as well. Very surprising to see that Dendi not going for the Scythe of Vice. But you know, so opened up with the Diffusal, so might as well, you know, go for more right click, as those plus 20 agility does give you attack speed. Friendly words being exchanged here by the two teams, as Necrobook, instead of the Black King Bar being picked up by a Lycanthrope, Necrobook's gonna give your Lycan a lot more burst in terms of DPS output. And to be honest, he's very, very tanky already as well. Doesn't really need the BKB. He still wants the BKB, but Necrobook almost as good when you have things like basically when Panda goes in clap and when you turn on the Shapeshift and run at the GD Bear team, they cannot kill Lycan or Panda quick enough before Panda and Lycan kill them. So that's why all these team fight are basically lopsided victory here for Navi. And the GD Bear team, it's like, alright, 4 times so far did not work. Let's try for the 5th time. And to be honest, as awkward as it looks, they're banging their heads against a brick wall, but they don't have any options. They are not a late game team by any stretch of the imagination, so they just gotta take a racks, and it looks like they have finally breached on the high ground. The blasts are doing a lot of damage. The wards are slowly being set up here, but oh, the hook is gonna hit on, but the ultimate's gonna get popped. Puppy taking a lot of damage, but here we go. Again, Black comes in right now. No, Black gets initiated upon as Havos comes in. He does so much. There's a Guardian Angel being used. Clockwork taking a lot of damage. Here's 2 Sonic Wave. Dandy half HP, but doing work with the Purge, trying to focus him down. The hook, not going to do pierce damage, does not go through magical immunity. Meanwhile, Dandy still doing work against Sing Sing. There's a, oh, what is that, vacuum backwards? I don't even know what that was for, staff. I'm not sure. In case he has went down. Meanwhile, Alex on the run. Shackle, no mana for the Shackle. Blink Clap is missing. Does he have the mana for a turnaround? Gale is going for it, but the Wolves and Queen of Pain ultra kill being picked up by Dandy. Another 5-0 team fight. I've never seen a team come back by losing so many 5-0 team fight, and I do not expect the GD Bear team with their lineup to be able to do so, because again, look at the go chart, look at the EXP chart, 30,000 EXP difference. I have never seen this huge EXP difference, and that makes me want to look up the EXP stats. What is this? Ugh. When 4 of the enemy members are higher and your support is higher than everybody else in terms of EXP, oh god, this game is not going well. I just like to see that GD Bear team's trying something different like this. Yes, going for smoke ganks. Maybe before they die, like on the 4th, 5th, the 3rd push, the suicidal push that we want to call it, they really need to pick somebody off because they could not afford to fight this. The hook's gonna miss here, but the hook from Clockwork will not. Focusing on Pudge. Pudge getting force half outwards here. Is he gonna try to survive? Getting a little bit blocked. Purge up here. The Purge from Dandy doing so much work, and that's gonna be 2 kills. No ultimate being used here by Panda. The wall gets up here, and look at that. Not gonna be enough because the BKB, the damage output, so tank. Bamboo being trapped here. The Wolves, the Necrobook doing way too much. And the Rax number 1, imagine, on the mid lane will be going down. Sing Sing is going to get picked off here just by Arzart himself. Then the uses of his Aegis Immortal doesn't matter. Ooh, Arzart so very low. Just be careful to not run into that wall. Tower's going to get focused. Everybody's dead. Venomancer back in 2 seconds, but Venomancer, there's no way that he'll be able to defend by himself. GG's being called by the Observer, but GD Bear team is still playing on. Let's see if they're going to hold out and how long they will hold out. Maybe even go for a sneak win. Really don't think they could. Clock zips in right now. Manners gets called out here by Toby Wan. As Dandy blinks in for a little bit. Steal hook in here for Black. No hook in here. But looks like the focus on the bot as ultimate being used just for this tower. Definitely could do so, as these guys have quite a bit of DPS output. Mid Rax has gone down. Bot Rax waiting focus. A hook, it does hit on Black. Dismember immediately being used. And will Puppy survive? Yes, he will. Why was there no heal bomb? He should have heal bomb. Could have got the kill if they dropped it, but instead, 2 people quickly die in a blink of an eye. Bamboo brings in right now, just dies. Wow. Not even close. Sing Sing walks in right now, gets clapped up. They're gonna run straight in, blink in, BKB. Sing Sing self to Decrepify. Probably going for the blast, but setting up for the huge Sonic Wave. Alex getting chased into the fountain as well. Purge. GG well play gets called. So Navi moves on. GD Bear team gets, I don't want to say knocked out. I do believe they're knocked into the losers bracket, but dominating performance from Navi. I just wanted to see the GD Bear team to adjust a little bit better. They had a good early game, but the mid game really was rough for them when the Panda was winning a couple of team fight here and there. And to be honest, they should have capitalized it by setting a couple more ganks instead of trying to push this top tower 5 times in a row and unsuccessfully, I might ask so. So very, very kind of easy win for Navi, and hopefully GD Bear team playing a little bit smarter. Are we gonna have 40 minutes of trash time? People are not changing out. People are disconnecting, so we're gonna pull up the end game menu very, very soon for you guys to see the group stats, go per minutes, etc., etc. Good game here for both teams. Navi will move on. They do win the series 2-1 against a GD Bear team. Here's the end game menu. I hope you guys enjoyed this particular commentary. If you haven't subscribed to me on YouTube yet, please do so, because I have a lot more commentaries coming your way. Marathon costs until I get to the 350 mark. And hope you guys enjoyed this particular game. Until next time, this is Luminous signing off to you guys.